Very good evening, everyone. This is Rajendran here joining from Market Calls. And welcome everyone to Momentum Trading using Market Profile session. So in this specific session, right, we're going to touch base on some of the basic concepts of momentum and how Market Profile helps traders to understand the momentum, right? So what are the different types of momentum activity that we can visualize using Market Profile, and how it helps traders to understand the momentum, how momentum do happen in the markets. So before getting into the session, just give me a quick confirmation about the audio and video quality. And in the meantime, I'll introduce myself. My name is Rajendran. I'm the founder of Market Calls and also co-founder of Traders Cafe. I've been trading this market since 2006 onwards. These days, most of my primary studies are market profile, order flow analytics, and trading systems. So these are the three things I do routinely involve in my day-to-day trading strategies. I'm more of an AMI broker and Ninja Trader user as well. So Ninja Trader primarily for market profile and order flow, and AMI broker as a tool primarily I do for building trading systems. Mostly I trade in derivative segments, particularly in Nifty and Bank Nifty trades. I also trade in heavyweight stock, futures, and option segments as well. All right, I hope the audio and video quality is good. Great. So today's topic is all about momentum trading. What is exactly momentum trading? How we can spot momentum traders using market profile, identify smart momentum traders using market profile, and of course, Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis using market profile. What I am particularly thinking about the markets via market profile. What is the information I'm seeing from the market profile, and what is my thought process, and how I'm using the market profile tools to understand the current market environment. That is what we're going to discuss. At the end of the session, we'll be discussing around the Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis. Now, here is the Investopedia. I mean, I don't think Investopedia. Somewhere I found this definition from the internet. Right? Momentum trading is the practice of buying and selling assets according to the recent strength of the price trends. Basically, momentum trading, what people believe, the price which is going in one direction, it continues to go in the same direction. So it is a popular belief which is adopted by many momentum traders. For example, RSI crosses above 55. So means RSI will be keep on going to 60, 70, 80. So momentum trading do happens. Now, overheated markets remains overheated and oversold markets remain oversold. This is the belief which is done, which is followed by many momentum traders. And majority of the traders in these markets are also momentum traders only. So they'll be always looking for a breakout trades. They'll be looking for a continuation of the trades, right? So yes, that is what majority of the trader among us do. Yeah, sometimes I also do momentum trading. That doesn't mean like I'm totally against momentum trading or something like that, right? So momentum trading is a widely popular across the country, across the world. Momentum trading is quite popular. So we can classify momentum trading into two categories. One group of traders, they look for a momentum from an intraday perspective. And particularly, there are some traders, they'll be looking for momentum trading in a very short term. So when I say short term, it could be anywhere between 3 to 10 days. There is no exact definition for a short term trading, but maybe we can take a rough estimate of 3 to 10 days as a momentum trading. There are also momentum investors are there. So particularly you can see that the people buying around the all-time high. There are many traders, they go and buy around the all-time high. You would have seen that. Many investors, many short-term investors, they see the all-time high, price is breaking all-time high, they go and buy around the all-time high. Those are momentum investors. Now I'm not going to talk about momentum investors here. I'm particularly concerned about only momentum traders, how momentum traders they behave, and what kind of emotions they'll be going through, and how particularly you can spot an intraday trading momentum using market profile. So that is what my today's talk is all about. And we can call the 5 stages of momentum using, so there are 5 phases. Typically in every trend comes with the momentum, right? So it comes with 5 stages: a displacement, A displacement is a thing like new traders, they start believing that, yes, this is something new. Maybe a new trend is evolving. Followed by a boom. Boom is mostly followed by slow sideways and then slowly uptrending price action. Followed by euphoria. Euphoria is a phase more traders, they enter in that momentum. They more traders, they believe in that momentum and they take it forward. And then profit taking. Profit taking is the final stages. So euphoria is the final stage basically. And some smart traders, they recognize that, yes, we are in the euphoric stage. So they recognize the euphoric stage and slowly, steadily, the momentum traders start withdrawing from that momentum. And then they start booking profit. Profit taking also a slow, so it looks like a bit faster, but still relatively it will be slow compared to the trend. And then finally it ends with panic. Now I'm going to show you last Friday's activity. Last Friday's activity using market profile. So let us say, let's start with market profile. Okay. Maybe prior to that, we'll try to understand how we can spot momentum, right? How market profile can be used to spot momentum trading. In market profile, we can spot momentum using one time framing. Maybe if at all price is rejecting around key reference levels, gaps, open drive, open test drive, price going outside the value area. So there are a lot many places we can understand where the momentum is happening. So we cannot measure the momentum, but we can only see the momentum. We can realize the momentum. We can experience the momentum in market profile, because market profile will not generate any numbers saying like RSI, something like an RSI numbers. It will not generate any numbers. Market profile is more of a visual tool. Visually, you can understand the momentum. You can see the momentum in front of your eyes. And that's what I'm going to show you, how particularly momentum trading happens. So let me go on to last Friday's activity. That is 30th July, 2 days back activity. If you could see what happened is, let me zoom a lot. Price opens down. It's kind of a gap down only. Price opens with a big gap down. This is a gap down itself an emotion. Gap down itself one form of an emotion, but that gap down failed to continue and quickly price started coming back into the range. That was pretty quick. So price opens, gap down, it was quickly got back in and came back to the center point straight away. It came to the center point. You can see that price went precisely to the prominent point of control. Price went precisely to the yesterday's prominent point of control. So, you know that the core rule about the price action is, if the price opens gap down and it quickly enters into the range, right? It is a pretty good idea that momentum traders are in control in this specific markets. What kind of momentum traders, if you ask me, you know that markets are so visual in nature. Price went precisely to the 27th July low. So such a visual here. So mostly dominant traders are the one who drive the markets like this. Price opens gap down. But remember, though price opening with a gap down is also one form of a momentum. But that momentum failed to continue there. Momentum failing to continue itself a signature that that momentum is not working out in that particular direction. Immediately market pull back. We can call that as a breakout failure. So usually a breakout failure, right, has the odds of price going to the other side. But this is a place where dominant traders, what kind of traders? Dominant short-term traders, because dominant short-term traders are the one who watches them such kind of levels. They come and trade around the levels. Precisely, they come and trade around the previous day high, previous day low, or some other highs and lows. The dominant traders are coming and driving the markets here. They are the one who push the price up. So what kind of activity they are doing? They are doing some sort of a responsive activity. They're catching the falling knife and they are driving it up. They're driving with a strong momentum. Suddenly the price started moving up by something like some 30, 40 points, just like that. If you are watching on a 5-minute time frame, probably I'll show you from the 5-minute time frame as well. I think I can show from a market. I'm also opening the side by side. I'm also opening a 1-minute time frame of Nifty as well. So I'll showcase the last Friday's activity. I'll go to July 31. I'll play. Start getting played. It's supposed to be 30. Yeah. So price opens gap down, and you can see that price opens gap down. They firmly jump up 30, 40 points. Of course, I know that there are very few trades happened over here. Maybe if somebody, anybody who watched order flow kind of charts, they would get to know that. But they quickly went to 15,803 levels. And then they started backing down, right? So this is what, if you would have seen on a 1-minute time frame, this is what you would have seen that price opens gap down. You can see that it's an open equal to low day, and momentum traders are driving up. They precisely went to the prominent point of control. That is what you would have seen. If you are watching from the market profile, you would have seen that price went quickly to the prominent point of control levels, and it started backing down. Now let me continue the auction here. I'm going to continue the auction at a market speed itself. Okay, you can see that price started bending back down. But at this point of time, right? So those who are precisely coming and touching this prominent point of control, and still the auction is very slow, you know that volumes are not that great. If somebody would have been watching the volumes from the structure here, volumes are not that great. Volume started doing sideways activity. It was good. So price was back into the range and not willing to come back down. Price started trading above the half back of the line. So half back is what? It's one of the reference watched by most of the traders. Notice the half back line, because many traders, they go and trade around those levels, particularly. So here last Friday, what happened? Traders are precisely touching those levels, and they are precisely coming and touching those levels. So what I'm showing you is a 2-point TPO. Each and every letter represents 2 points of price action in Nifty. And you know that letter A runs from 9:15 to 9:45. So you can see the time over here. You can see the time over here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run the time at a market speed. Slightly, I'm going to increase the speed to 10 times. So every second, 10 seconds will be getting passed. So you know that markets are trying to attempt to make one more direction towards the weaker levels. So weaker hand traders, they came and trade around the prominent point of control, and price action is also repeatedly touched and then it bounced back, touched and then it bounced back. So these kind of things are mostly done by weaker hand traders. So that's how not a momentum traders play. Momentum traders, they will come and smash the players. So what you are seeing is a momentum which is coming on the positive side. Price failed to continue on the downside. That itself an indication that morning sellers are not serious. If their sellers are serious, right, that probably by now they would have been coming down and started trading on the downside. Now that particular day, if you would have watched that, there was a single print zone was there, the single print zone. The single print zone is kind of an resistance zone, immediate resistance zone. Now, what was my thought process is like, okay, so maybe the price action around the prominent point of control, price was keep on doing back and forth activity with the low volumes. So I was seeing low volumes in the structure. Not only that, I was seeing more and more weaker volumes also. Maybe I'll increase the speed now because B period started. Notice what the B period had done. B period precisely went to the half back levels. B period low precisely went to the half back levels and they started pushing back up. So auction is still up only. At this point of time, if I see the auction is still upside. But I'm seeing that B period price comes back and it precisely stopped at the previous day halfback line. The yellow color line, which you are seeing, the dotted yellow color or golden color line, that's the halfback level. Halfback is nothing but the midline, which is nothing but the yesterday's high minus plus yesterday's low divided by 2. Price was precisely got stopped at the levels. So by looking into this level itself, I thought like maybe there's a very fair chance, right? So not necessarily it has to do, but there is a fair chance that price could again come back, means more and more rotations. We're going to see a lot of sideways activity. First half could be filled with a lot of sideways price action around the halfback levels. This was my thought process. I was looking for an uptrend only. But my view on that particular day is like I was looking for a maybe, if at all there could be any uptrend, maybe the limitation could be maximum up to that single print zones, maybe something like that. So maybe they could settle down. This was my thought process there. The same thing is what we do conduct a live training session every day, so called Traders Cafe, where I was talking about those things. I was expecting in first half to be sideways. Maybe second half, we could start pushing up towards that 15,860 levels. But over a period of time, that particular day, I was seeing more and more traders activity than the investors activity. Investors, if they're coming and trading, they will not come and trade around the references. You know that. When they're piling up, it doesn't matter. They will not go and trade around the exact levels. Wherever you see that exactness, those are mostly done by traders. If you see last couple of days, this market has been totally controlled by the trading community only. Trading community and intraday community is what totally trying to trade these markets. Particularly last couple of days, totally intraday, short-term sellers are controlling these markets. I'll show you later on how the short-term sellers are controlling these markets. But at this point of time, since the auction is still up, auction is not given up yet. But you know that two-way auction process is one of the main thing which happens on a daily basis. So that clue, that B period is a weaker one. That is a strong clue that markets have the odds of coming back. Not necessarily the market has to come back, but we have to think in such a way like majority of the time, the market do have the habit of coming back to the midline. The price action, you can see that the price action, C period also started coming back down. It started getting balancing. It started its two-way auction process. Still, it's not a confirmation, but then what I started seeing that specific day is like more and more low volume activity is what coming in. So you can see that the volumes are getting dry, dull, boring activity, slow, steady action. That is what I was able to witness on that specific day. C period also started coming back in. So these are the places when the market itself balancing, you know that the trading opportunity itself very less over there. In fact, last Friday, trading opportunity was very less only. If anybody missed the opening trade, probably first 2 minutes of trade, if you would have missed, probably price would have got back to the center and there was very little trading opportunity was there. One of the key things what market profile could teach you is what kind of opportunities are there in the market. Is it a small opportunity or is it a big opportunity? That kind of evaluation one can do with the market profile. Look at the structure here. Price is still trading back and forth. Notice the C period low. The C period low also came precisely to the midline. Again, price was jumping. Somebody was buying twice, not once, but twice they are buying around the halfback levels. Now, what kind of traders they could be? They're mostly trading community. They are traders only. They are not investors. Investors, they will not look into yesterday's halfback and they will not buy around the halfback levels for the next 10 years. But mostly traders are the one who are following momentum. They're chasing the momentum. Traders are coming and buying around levels. I said like many traders, they do trade levels. Lot of level-based traders are there. I'm not talking about small traders. Big traders, they come and trade around the levels. They trade around the halfbacks. They come and generate momentum around the highs and lows. And so the moment price action itself not continuing, momentum traders are the one who started pushing the price up. You can see that it's a slow and steady move is what we are seeing in kind of a boom period. It'll be very slow, steady. Volumes will be pretty much lower. But you know that kind of places, who is dominating, that really matters a lot. These are still traders. And you know that these kind of traders generally have the habit of building a balance. The traders are trying to supply liquidity here. And more traders are coming and trading only in this band only. So majority of the time, the market started spending time over here. You can see that repeatedly prices auctioning around those levels. So far, 4 letters got auctioned, 4 TPOs got traded around those levels. D period also, notice that D period came again to the halfback levels. You can see how visual the traders are when it comes to driving it up. So notice what happened is D period came back precisely to the previous day high. So the line what I marked here is the previous day high. Traders started pushing the price up. You can see that the traders are defending those levels. Traders defended the 27th July low. Traders defended the halfback levels. And now traders started defending the previous day high as well. So this is previous day high. So how do I know previous day high? Because market profile is one of the visual tool to visualize the highs, lows, halfbacks, prominent point of control. So all those references, halfback. Right. So price is precisely at a 2 TPO difference, they're coming and pushing the price up. You know, like these kind of, this is what momentum traders, they do. They generate momentum, they come around levels, they come and react around those levels. Very precisely, they'll be waiting for such kind of levels to show up. So they show up around those levels and they start pushing the price from those levels. Mostly they are fast traders. They look for a direction, price moves up in their favor, they give up. They start booking profits. That's what they do. That is what they precisely do. But still, market profile shows more than a momentum. Market profile, from the market profile, what I am seeing is that intraday momentum traders are coming and precisely coming and trading around the levels. Level-based traders are mostly looking for momentum. They come and initiate trades around those levels. They wait for the price to continue in that direction. And that is what momentum traders, they do specifically. But at the same time, if you are watching this level, you know that price is doing a two-way auction process, price is balancing. Not a good time to react. Still, momentum traders are there, probably the best place to look for a buying opportunity. But still, what is happening side by side is like many momentum traders are jumping in. And notice that activity itself getting 5 times the time is getting spent over there. Price action itself balancing around those levels. So what I was seeing is like more balancing is happening around the prominent point of control. So what does that mean? That is not a rejection. That is more of a more liquidity is getting supplied around those prominent point of control. Means more traders are crowded around the prominent point of control. More trades are likely to happen around the prominent point of control. I mean, yesterday's prominent point of control is what I'm talking about. A lot of traders are coming and pushing the price up, but still the momentum is on the positive side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the speed to 20 times, or maybe 30 times. Could be moving a bit faster. So all these are like dull, boring, slow, steady, frustrating volumes, which is not something new, which has been keep on doing. The market has been keep on doing it for almost 2 months now. Market has been doing that. Again, notice that E period also precisely went to the midline, center point. Exactly from the center point, E period started pushing back up. So who these guys are? Momentum traders. Every level, letter A period, momentum traders, B period, momentum traders, C period, momentum traders, D period, low momentum traders, E period, low also momentum traders. It's kind of a booming phase where more and more momentum traders are continuing in the direction of around every price level they're coming and trading. Now you see that how many times the momentum traders are coming and trading. Typically what momentum traders do, they initiate around the level, price moves in their favor, they book profit. Generally, that is what they do. But what if more and more momentum traders are trying to join the trades? What could happen? At some point in time, somebody has to book profits, right? Think about that, a room full of momentum traders are there. Everybody is a momentum trader. Everybody go and chase the price. Price goes up, people chase the price. Now that is a classical example that you could understand how to trade that specific day. You know that D period is also weaker. Notice the F period where it got stopped. The F period got stopped precisely at the prominent point of control. Yesterday's prominent point of control. And again, level-based traders are there. Around the F period, G period. G period went to only one TPO down below that. The activity around the center now, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, almost 7 letters getting traded around the center point. You could notice something very peculiar. So if I see this up to this point, what I'm seeing is more and more momentum traders only. I'm just seeing it. Price action is getting stopped at various levels. So what are the levels I had seen? I'm seeing level-based traders. Let me write it down. I'm seeing in level-based traders. A period. Also at B period, at C period, at D period, and at E period, and at F period. So all these players are the one who was driving the momentum, and they are waiting for the price action to go in their favor. They are momentum traders. They are momentum traders. Morning, we had seen even dominant traders also. Let me run the auction again here. You can see that. So time was around 12:38. Price started still centering back. A lot of dull boring activity. Still day high is not taken out. You know, the day high is also a bit weaker as well. B and G. You can see that day high is weaker. You know, anytime they can take out the day high. But still, volumes are not there. Slow, steady, uptrending activity is what happened. Even H period also. Notice the H period. Let me pass. H period also traded just only 1 point from the prominent point of control. It started pushing back up. Now, you know, right? The momentum traders are still there. Momentum traders at H period also still there. So at H period also, I'm seeing the momentum. They're coming and trading the price precisely multiple times. Think about that, day high has been broken. Immediately, it got a pullback, which is fine. When such kind of things are happening, right, you have to be a bit cautious because at times it might turn to be a reversal. But wait, what happened is the H period went precisely. When I say precisely, I'm just talking about exactly or 1 TPO difference. If I draw a line around the previous day high, somebody went exactly very close to that level and they started selling them. Somebody started some bookings. Maybe they could be started booking profits. When price went to that level, some traders, they started booking some profits. That's not a complete profit booking though, because it's one of the, we call it as a weaker high. The day high is weaker. Still, the auction is continuing on the upper side only, but day high is weaker. If at all some other day, I would have readily went short. But that particular day, I haven't shorted here at all. I mean, in fact, I haven't done anything, but I was silently watching. I thought like maybe it's not a good idea to go and fight. Maybe I should either place on the long side. I should not, rather, at least for time being, if at all any uptrend, it has the capacity to go up. Still, it has the capacity to go up. But what I felt was the opportunity was very, very low. So I haven't done any trading. Literally, I haven't done any trading on last Friday. But I was watching it. I was anticipating this balance, and balance was getting played out. And I was waiting for some price action. But repeatedly, every time the price started keep going up, the high was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And that was confirming that momentum traders are still in play. They are not giving up yet. No emotions are there. Absolutely no emotions are running around. Whenever you're seeing a balanced structure, that indicates that mostly they are not emotional markets. But then the price action was repeatedly coming and trading around back and forth. Now, if you look at the TPO, almost 9 TPO wide over here. I thought like maybe it can go to 10 or 11. That chances are fairly there because almost 3 times 13.10. This is a place I said like maybe the auction is higher, day high is weaker. So maybe we could go towards the momentum traders could push the price towards that upper end of the single prints. That was my thought. And again, notice that the H and I period, the H and I period also, they started balancing. In fact, now the point of control is now 10 letters, 10 TPO letters wide from here. H and I also exactly the same level. H and I levels are exactly same. What does that mean? Still momentum traders are there. I period also, traders started coming and buying. In fact, the H and I period is precisely at one of the halfback levels. So A period, B period is weaker, D period is weaker, E period is weaker, G period is not weaker, but F period was weaker, H and I period was weaker. Still, the buyers keep buying. There is no euphoria, something like that. Look at the price action, it was slow, steady. Now again, price started inching up. The moment price is hitting new high, more and more people get enthusiastic. They start chasing the price. That's how the momentum traders come, right? Momentum traders, they see the breakout and they come and trade the breakouts. That's what majority of the traders do. Of course, they confirm with the indicators or something like that. But if somebody is using a market generated information, so what is the market generated information is saying? Market generated information is saying like we are dealing with momentum traders, particularly repeated momentum trading activities happening in the markets over and over and over and again. Not one places, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Then at I period. You know that specifically this kind of trading activity is fine. It's okay to deal with the trading activity, but you should understand that we are in the late stages of momentum. Upside activity is limited. At the same time, there is also serious risk is also there. Notice the price action. The weaker high has been taken out. Notice the J period also. J period was a bit interesting because it went 1 TPO away from the previous day high. The momentum traders are pushing the price up. So this is one of the dangerous zone because price is now outside the value area. Here is the value area. Price outside the value area, typically emotional momentum traders, they get caught most of the time. Any traders who are coming over here, they're mostly emotional traders. Emotional traders, particularly, they get caught at times. So it is very dangerous to trade in this specific zone because these are the places more and more momentum traders, they get caught. People see the price, people see the speed of the price action. Their emotions will be running high. That is what a euphoric moment is all about. So we studied that euphoric moment, right? So this euphoric moment. So particularly here, by that time, if anybody is watching who is using market profile, they know that these are euphoric phases trying to put their fingers. Generally, most of the intraday traders are going to burn their fingers here. Maybe a very good place to look for a profit booking opportunity if you're seeing that. So my comment was like, we are not going to do anymore. So most of the uptrend has been happened. So most likely, my expectation is nothing beyond that. Maybe we might be, what I was thinking is like, maybe we could be scrolling back up, make max to the center point is what I was thinking about that. But there was a lot of momentum traders right from the morning. Momentum traders are the one who are keep on trading the levels. So what kind of momentum traders they could be? They could be, if it is one time, it's fine. If it is 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, it is fine. They keep on coming in at multiple level, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H letters. All the letter lows are such a visual information. So that clarifies only one thing here. We are dealing with emotional traders now, and we are also dealing with intraday momentum traders. Intraday momentum traders. Let me run the auction again here. And you know that market has been, so far, it's been showing a low volatile day, but market never failed to show that it is so visual in nature. Majority of the time, market has the habit of getting so visual. Last Friday is not an exception. You might think it is a coincidence. Definitely it is not a coincidence, because I've been watching market profile since 2012 onwards. Every now and then market profile shows something visual, and it is trackable using the market profile kind of indicators. You see that the J period market had done the day high. J period had done something visual also. I'll tell you what visually market had done. So watch the price action around K period. The K period went precisely to the day high. Notice the day high J was there. The J period, so far, if you would have seen, let me pause the activity here. The G, H, I, J, K are one time framing, right? So one time framing itself, where momentum traders are the one who is dominating. So G, H, I, J, K, they are one time framing. You know that one time framing is also one form of momentum. And price driving out of value area, price driving out of value area is also another form of momentum. Right, so two things are happening here, but only one thing is there, price driving out of momentum. It is also emotional traders, because the JP was driving a bit faster. You know that point of control is staying here. Point of control is not able to accept above the single print zone. We know that that is one of the reason I said, I thought like maybe this day the upside odds are likely to be a limited one. And in fact, I said like maybe the upside in Bank Nifty is also over by that time. So Bank Nifty also made some structure, something like this. So Bank Nifty also, I said like maybe the upside auction is fine with that. It's totally done with that. Maybe something else is going to happen. Maybe a price odds coming back to the center, because generally that is where most of the time wise we have been spending over there. And what we are seeing is a rejection around single prints, Generally, I prefer to use single prints as zones, rejection around single print zone. That is an indication that buyers are not serious. And price started routinely coming back. So you see the day high is also visual. Very visual. Letter J and K period was just only one TPO difference. Now, mostly short-term traders are the one who will be coming and selling like this. Short-term traders are keep on doing this. Multitude amount of times they are doing this. And price get back to the center. See that this is a profit booking. A panic profit booking is what happening. Because too many momentum traders are joining the game. If few momentum traders, it's fine. But more and more momentum traders are coming in. What happens? What happens is a panic happens, because everybody will try to book the profits at the same time. And you know that crazy drop happens. So momentum traders, they came in, and who is smart, they book their momentum. The faster momentum traders, they would have booked early. Later, whoever coming and booking, they are panicking and they are exiting at break evens. So what happens is momentum traders, they came up and they are drained out the same day. Totally, the day has been wasted. Nothing much happened. Where the price started, they almost price was hardly Nifty went down. Nifty spot was down by minus 15 points. So literally nothing much happened. Maybe you might thought like this crazy price action is because of some FIs coming and suddenly selling it. They are smart sellers. Absolutely not. Momentum traders came in, they got out. They have to outride because they are mostly intraday momentum traders. So nothing crazy went for them. So wherever the stop loss would have been kept by the momentum traders, that would have been taken down. And basically back to nothing. Back to square one again. So overall, if you ask me who dominated the market last Friday? Last Friday, the market has been dominated only by the visual momentum traders. They entered and then they exited. But at the same time, this is from an intraday perspective. From a positional perspective, how we can see the momentum. There are different ways to look into the momentum, but right now, let me explain what is the context which is going on. If I track from the past, right? So if I track it from the past, from here, this high here, it's a poor high. You can see the letter A and B period high on 16th July. Remember the charts which I am showing is from August contract. If you're using continuous contract, you might be getting a different highs. So let me tell you before you're checking your charts. So what I am showing is the August contract. August contract during the month of July. Okay. So levels are likely to be different only. It's a poor high. In fact, we call this an AB poor high. That is an indication that short-term traders are in control. Short-term sellers are pushing the price down. They push the price down at various levels. Again, they push the price precisely down from here as well. You can see this is again, the short-term sellers are pushing the price down here. This is another place. So far, this level not got cleared. Price reaches that level. Again, the sellers start selling down. One more time, the sellers start selling down with one more poor high. Basically, it was a poor high in July series, but in August series, there was only one tick above that. So I'm going to consider this as an poor high still. And last Friday high is also poor high. So sellers also on one side, they are seeing the highs, they're coming and selling at the highs, multitude amount of times, not one time, not two times, not three times, but 4 times they are selling the markets. Every time the price is reaching 15,887 levels. Now sellers got getting used to such kind of levels. Now what is happening here is positional sellers also. Positionally, the sellers are driving the momentum on the downside. And they have to book profit at some point in time. The price is not working in their favor. At some point in time, they have to start booking profits. Whenever next time, if this high is going to get taken out, the high around 15,870 levels are taken out, maybe a short squeeze can happen. We don't know when. Maybe it can happen on Monday, or it can happen on Tuesday or Wednesday. Something near to that, we can see that more and more traders are the one who is coming and selling these markets, literally. So that is something which is still making the trades focused on the long side only. Last week also we anticipated something like 16,000 plus kind of levels. It's not able to make up, but still the sellers, if you see the last couple of days, 15 days of price action, more and more sellers who are dominating are also visual. They're driving the momentum. Every time the price reaches around 15,960 levels, 15,920 levels, 15,870 levels. So I can tell you that a lot of traders stop loss are sitting in this band. Huge stop loss is sitting in this band. So we don't know when it's going to take it out, but in a very, very short term, these band of levels are likely to be taken out. Why it will be taken out? Because markets do have a memory. If the markets do have memory, the price action will come back once again back to 16,000 plus levels. And still for this entire series, I'm just thinking that still the price action is likely to be 15,500 to 16,000 levels only. Maybe because this week on Friday, we are having a major policy announcements. Last two RBI policy has been totally a non-event. I don't know how this RBI policy is likely to span out. You see that the price action is totally, now the major RBI policies are generally even full day, but last two RBI policies, as I said, it's only dull, boring activity has been happening. So maybe at least I'm thinking that still Nifty is likely to trade in this 500 points band till RBI policy announcement. Maybe if RBI surprises, we could get out of the band. And so that is one thing, because market itself were trading in a kind of a rectangular consolidation zone. If you're watching the markets, let us say, if I'm going to the daily time frame, this market is going still in a rectangular consolidation only. This is a freak tick. If you ignore the freak tick, price action is totally traded in this rectangular zones only. Price started selling, but then the selling also, if I will bring that exhaustion in extreme indication indicator, right? So this is extreme indication indicator. I do use particularly to determine where the exhaustion happens. So this is one place where the exhaustion happens, and this is another place where one more exhaustion happens. So I neither shorted, neither try to take a long opportunities are getting small. So basically not doing anything at all. But if any pullbacks are happening, maybe a good place to add for some longs, right? So that is one another thing one can prepare for. The focus is still on the long side only. However, one have to wait for the trend to set up. Some more momentum is required. Maybe until then, they're going to be frustration. Imagine if market is going to go sideways between 15,500 to 16,000 kind of levels. What a trader can do. So auction is still on the higher side only, undoubtedly, because sentiments are also always on the higher side. Hardly indications are on the higher side. But despite that, markets are running in a rectangular zone. So at this point in time, shorting is not a great idea. But things are getting weaker on both the sides, right? So yesterday's low, last Friday low also weaker. So if this last Friday low is weaker, still the auction is continuing on the upper side. It is still a cautious sign only. Uptrend can be there, but it's still likely to be limited to something like 16,000 or 16,200 kind of levels. And that is what I'm just thinking at this point in time. So maybe Friday, Monday, we might have some clue whether this market is likely to get out of this band or what. So what has to be checked out is, what I'm going to thinking of checking out is, if at all the price action is keep going up higher, maybe it has the limitation till 16,200. It has the odds of going up towards 16,200 from an intraday perspective. But eventually, if at all any look above the balance and fail, that indicates a serious selling pressure. This view still it continues. And yes, the VIX also totally coming down. So that is not giving any boost at all. Maybe a game changer could be an event could be a game changer. So if at all any surprise there in the RBI policy, maybe we could be seeing some wild price actions coming in. Until then, it's going to be, even if there's going to be an uptrend also, it's going to be a slow, steady uptrend. So uptrending opportunities are there, but then I'm just thinking that it could be going to be slow and steady. VIX is also dead. So VIX has been totally dead for quite some time now. Right? So right from last 1 month, the VIX itself trading between 12 and 13, that indicates dull, boring markets. Absolutely no volatility, no demand from the option buyers. And option sellers also not able to charge a higher premiums. Premiums are literally not there. Even if you are checking that 16,000 options, I think some 15 rupees or 9 rupees was the premium trading in. What was the premium? 16,000 call option weekly is trading at 9 rupees. So crazy. It's like 200 points away now, and that is trading at 9 rupees. Imagine that, what kind of price action is going on there, means people are still not expecting a price to go up. 16,000 call buyers are not expecting price to go beyond 16,000 levels. That's crazy, right? So means people are not even expecting for a 1 month. They are not even expecting price to go beyond beyond 16,000 levels. So such a crazy price action is what people are expecting and anticipating, and price is totally going crazy. And put option also is trading around 15,500 put option, right? It's trading roughly around 15-16 rupees, which is like nobody's expecting any price action in the market. Neither the call option buyers, neither the put option buyers. They're not expecting anything around these levels. So hopefully what the crowd is thinking, most likely the market does that. And yeah, my thinking is also, I'm bullishly biased, but mildly bullishly biased. I'm not super bullish in these markets. Maybe if yes, momentum traders are there, equally momentum sellers, weaker momentum sellers are also there. That's what market profile shows us. Market profile shows not only the smart momentum traders, it also shows it identifies emotional momentum traders, it identifies weaker hand momentum traders, it identifies smart dominant momentum traders, it identifies the momentum euphoria. Right? So only if you closely track the markets, we can identify different styles of momentum traders. Not every momentum trader is going to be a smart trader, right? If at all every momentum trader is smart, then everybody should be making money here. Right? So we can classify the momentum traders into various categories. Some people, they are dominant momentum traders, they are smart momentum traders. Some momentum traders they are weaker hand momentum traders. Time being, they look smart, but they are positionally, they're not going to be smart. Over a period of time, they're not going to be smart. But from an immediate perspective, they look smart. And momentum traders, they think they are smart, but they get caught at the top, right? So that is what they get caught in the euphoria. They are mostly driven by price action. Just like that price chart keeps going up, they are totally see the price, they get stuck with the price, they miss the context. If anybody was seeing the context last Friday, they know that it is okay to trade the momentum, but it is not a good idea to continue with the momentum because it's all about momentum euphoria. We had seen the momentum euphoria, you know that once the euphoria happens, what will happen? After a boom, there should be a bust, right? So the momentum traders finally got busted because of the momentum traders itself. So momentum traders drive up. They are the one who's responsible for driving the price back down also. That doesn't mean like the markets are likely to be continuing further down. Yes, definitely last Friday's action sentiment was negative. Price action failing to continue in the same direction itself a bullish opportunity only. But then, as I said, we got stuck in a limbo. You know what a limbo is, right? So if you haven't seen what a limbo is all about, right? In the Inception movie, right, one get died inside the dream state. We call it a limbo. He cannot forever get out of the thing. So we got stuck in literally a black hole here, and it is sucking the traders back and forth, left, right. It is sucking the patience of the traders, and the market has been keep on going the sideways, and it's continuing on and on and on and on. It's something not new. It's happened in the markets earlier also. It will happen in the future also. This is a phase. There's a change in market dynamics. Failing to recognize the market dynamics, it creates a lot of tensions, pressure. But these are the places we have to learn to keep our expectations small, and that is what a trader has to do that. But yes, markets are not likely to be keep on rotating in this range forever, right? Somewhere the participants will show up, somewhere the sentiment will change, somewhere more and more people will get attracted. Maybe somewhere the investors will get bored and then they'll start pumping money, or somewhere the investors will bored and then they'll start dumping their positions down. That change will happen. So until then, it's a good idea to keep expectations in control, emotions in control, start trading the sideways markets. That requires a lot of patience. By the way, this momentum trading, it is there, but comparatively, compared to Nifty, right? Bank Nifty, the opportunity looks pretty interesting. Bank Nifty is having a potential to move up, right? Bank Nifty is also so far dominated by short-term sellers only, and then, but then any price action coming above 84,650 levels, right? So we could be pushing towards 35,300 and maybe towards the 35,600 levels also. 35,600 levels, there is one visual reference level, still it is pending. So maybe this is one of the, maybe this series, right? So maybe ahead of the RBI policy announcement, maybe it's good for Bank Nifty. Maybe Nifty could underperform, still Nifty could be slow and steady. Maybe Bank Nifty could be moving like a rocket. And then max to max, my expectation is towards that 36,000 kind of levels. So I'm little bullish in Bank Nifty at this point in time. Macro sentiment levels are, macro sentiments. That means when I say macro sentiments, I look into the daily sentiment of one of my indicator, Turbo RSI, on the daily time frame in Bank Nifty. So Nifty is also, it's holding positive last 2 days, and Bank Nifty is also holding positive for the last 2 trading sessions. So Monday also, if it holds positive, my thoughts will be still, I'll be aligned bullish on mostly on the long side, and my focus will be towards 35,600 and 36,000 kind of levels. So that is the maximum expectation I'm just having in Bank Nifty itself. Yeah, Bank Nifty could be ahead of the event. They could be start running towards a prominent point of control. If not on Monday, maybe from Tuesday onwards, they'll start moving towards the longs. But then last Friday's activity in Nifty, it neither broken the first half an hour high and low. First half an hour high is also not broken. First half an hour low is also not broken. Market totally rotated inside the range, which was kind of an anticipated one. Basically, literally no control is there from anybody. Even if you're checking the low as well, the low was not visual. Low was pretty good low. Anyways, the lows are serious, very reasonable low is what we can think about that. But then not much of a visual level, but no activity, no participation from last Friday in Bank Nifty. Totally went dull, boring. Then so far, if you see who had controlled, sellers are the one who is coming and controlling. Short-term sellers are the one, thus far they controlled in Bank Nifty as well. Most likely sellers are temporary sellers. That's what you can say. Like we can see this level, this is short-term targets. The prominent point of control, I'm considering that as a short-term target. And so the AB power lows and AB power highs as well, a short-term positional target. Maybe next week, it has the odds of moving towards 35,600 and 36,000 kind of levels. As long as the sentiment is going to hold positive, my thought process is going to be the same. Maybe if the sentiment changes, my thinking also change accordingly with the market direction. But yes, that is what it is going on. Maybe Bank Nifty could be better compared to Nifty. Nifty, more and more pressure is there on the sell side. Sellers are putting more pressure. In fact, buyers are handling the pressure so far. But when the price is getting out of 15,880 levels next time, maybe there could be some crazy price action can happen that could push the price not beyond, but maybe something like 16,000 or 16,100 or 16,200. That's the max up levels I'm been considering at this point in time. Maybe afterwards we have to evaluate whether we could look for a change in trend or not. So until RBI policy announcement, I'm not thinking anything about change in trend yet. So the focus will be mostly on the long side. There's a small promo over here. We are doing a complete mentoring program on market profile and order flow and systematic trading. If you go to the webinar section, you can get the complete details around here. So where the focus will be primarily on market profile, auction theory, and also how to see the information, how to understand what kind of traders are trying to control these markets, where emotional traders are coming in. So there are various places emotional traders will be coming in, and how we can understand what kind of traders I'm competing with, where I can find the traders activity, where I can find the investors activity, where I can find the dominant traders, where I can find the passive traders who are taking dominant, who are taking control of over the markets, where short covering can happen, where a market could be topping out. And on top of that, most likely from an intraday perspective, we'll be dealing with order flow, particularly for the traders who are looking for a quick scalping trading odds from a quick intraday trading odds. So most likely with a very tight risk. This session almost runs for 150 plus hours, right? It's a mentoring program. Most of them are live sessions. Most of them we talk only about live market conditions, current market conditions, most likely, which explains almost a 3 months of journey, what you're going to learn about how visual the markets are and how one have to handle such kind of situations and what kind of techniques one can use while executing the trades, how to monitor the markets. So that is the approach we're going to follow for almost for 160 hours. So people also get access to the Traders Cafe as well. So if you already know market profile, then you can readily join Traders Cafe, right? So it's a live trading room, one of our live trading room where the Tradezilla members, the Tradezilla 4.0 members will get exclusive access to the Traders Cafe access. And in every day, we'll be discussing market profile and order flow. In our live analytics, we'll be discussing in our trading room right from 9:30 to 10:30, and also from afternoon 1:30 to 2:30. We discuss about the market activity. Particularly, we'll be discussing about Nifty, Bank Nifty, Reliance, most of the banking stocks, and some of the heavyweights like TCS, Infi, Maruti, and then State Bank of India. So those are the heavyweights we'll be mostly discussing around. So we'll be discussing around heavyweights. We'll be discussing about Nifty, and we'll be discussing about Bank Nifty. So that's what we do in our mentoring session. And coming back to the topic, right? So we've seen that what kind of activity can happen, if you ask me, most likely, if anything on the downside. So price action holding this uptrend itself a very important thing, because there was a deep corrections happen, failing to see the correction itself and bullish odds. But however, remember that the buyers are still getting defended around the highs. So this is the highs. Sellers are showing dominance repeatedly. So the sellers showed dominance around the highs, the other highs over here. So various highs, the sellers are showing the defense. If Friday also, if coming Monday also price started trading down below that levels, right? So this is already a weaker one, maybe a temporary selling pressure, and then we could go sideways for 2 days. The last 3 days of bullish price action, Nifty could start scaling up towards 16,000 levels. This is one thing which I'm thinking about. The other one is right from Monday onwards, price starts straight away, they start taking out and they keep inching up higher and they keep inching up higher. And that is the second view. Most likely either one of the view is what I'm just thinking. So downside is very, very limited. That's what I feel. And the upside is getting more riskier now, at least from a very, very short-term perspective. I prefer not to short the markets. Rather, I prefer to try to look for if there's any dip, I'll try to go long. Or if there's any momentum longs are coming in, I'll go and trade the momentum longs. But at the same time, limited upside in Nifty, maybe slightly higher elevated opportunity maybe in Bank Nifty. That's what I'm just considering at this point in time. So let me take a couple of questions here. So what's the blue line? Maybe if you're asking about this blue line, it's today's developing value area. Value area over a period of time. Venkata is saying like, does open equal to low gives momentum? Not in every case. Sometimes it gives an euphoric momentum also. it depends where the open equal to low is happening. Depends upon that, we can say whether it's a regular momentum or a euphoric momentum. How does one enter and learn from Traders Cafe? I mean, if you already know market profile to a certain extent, you can straight away join Traders Cafe. One can directly go and enroll in Traders Cafe. Or if in case, if you want to talk, you just better check with the Febinars team. They will be helping you out. A number is there already on the portal. All right, great. So I guess that's, I hope I'm able to clarify what momentum traders they do, how we can spot momentum, what are the different class of momentum traders are there in the markets, and how we can bifurcate using market profile. How, that is, everything is more of a visual bifurcation only, nothing much of a measurement like number or something like that. We cannot put any numbers to that measurement. Yes, of course, indicators are likely to do that, but market profile reveals the context. What is the running context? Who is taking control of the market? How they are coming and taking control in the markets? And typically, in such a visual environment, market profile is one of the best graphical tool to visualize the auction as if it is happening in front of your eyes. So let me say thank you, and I'll stop the session here. And I hope to see you in next interesting session. Next week, we're going to talk about more interesting, one of the more interesting topics is what I thought of discussing in the upcoming session. So stay tuned to Febinars. If you haven't downloaded the Febinars mobile application, download it. You can also access the course from the mobile application as well. See you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.